What if I told you that the deadliest battle in the history of warfare occurred during World War II and resulted in nearly 2 million casualties? This is not a tale spun from the imagination of a Hollywood scriptwriter, but a chilling reality of our past. The Battle of Stalingrad, a grueling confrontation that stretched from the scorching summer of August 23, 1942, to the frigid winter of February 2, 1943, remains unmatched in its scale of destruction. In the heart of the Soviet Union, the city of Stalingrad became the stage for a pivotal clash between two of the world's superpowers at the time, Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union. The stakes were high, with Hitler viewing the city as a stepping stone to the rich oil fields of the Caucasus. On the other hand, for Stalin, it was a matter of national pride and survival. The strategies employed by both sides were as diverse as they were devastating. The German forces, led by General Friedrich Paulus, initiated a brutal onslaught, employing a strategy of encirclement and annihilation. They banked on their superior firepower to crush the Soviet resistance. In contrast, the Soviets, under the leadership of General Vasily Chuikov, adopted a strategy of attrition, using the city's ruins to their advantage, turning every building into a fortress, every street into a battleground. The aftermath was horrific. The city lay in ruins, its citizens devastated. The German Sixth Army, once a formidable force, was decimated. On the Soviet side, the victory came at an enormous cost, with the Red Army suffering heavy casualties. The numbers were staggering, with nearly 2 million soldiers and civilians losing their lives in this brutal confrontation. The Battle of Stalingrad was a turning point in World War II, and its scale of destruction was a testament to the brutal nature of warfare. If you thought the Battle of Stalingrad was horrific, wait until you hear about the Battle of Moscow. This confrontation, which raged from October 2, 1941 to January 7, 1942, is considered one of the largest and deadliest battles in the history of warfare. The German Operation Typhoon, aimed at capturing Moscow, the Soviet Union's political, economic and symbolic center, kicked off in early October. The German forces, confident and triumphant after a series of victories, believed they could take Moscow before the onset of winter. But, as the saying goes, man proposes, God disposes. The Russian winter, notoriously harsh and brutal, descended with its full fury. The German forces, ill-prepared for such extreme conditions, found themselves battling not just the Red Army, but also the merciless cold. Tanks froze, weapons jammed, and soldiers succumbed to frostbite even before they could face the enemy. The harsh winter was an unexpected enemy that the German High Command had not factored into their calculations. The Red Army, on the other hand, was more accustomed to the winter conditions. They adapted their strategies, using the weather to their advantage, and launched a counter-offensive that caught the German forces off guard. This battle saw the use of ski battalions, a novel concept, and a demonstration of Russian resourcefulness in the face of adversity. The result was a significant turning point in the Second World War. The German forces had to retreat, their dream of capturing Moscow shattered. The Battle of Moscow marked the first major defeat of the seemingly invincible German army. In terms of human cost, the numbers are staggering. The German forces suffered approximately 1 million casualties, while the Soviets had nearly 2.5 million casualties. Each side paid a heavy price in this brutal confrontation. The Battle of Moscow was a clear demonstration of the resilience of the Russian forces and the miscalculations of the German High Command. It was not just a battle between two armies, but also a battle against nature, against time, and against the very elements themselves. Now imagine a city under siege for nearly 900 days, resulting in one of the longest and most destructive sieges in history. This was the reality for the people of Leningrad, from September 8, 1941 to January 27, 1944, during the throes of the Second World War. The city, now known as St. Petersburg, was a prime target for the German forces. They saw it as a symbolic step towards the eventual capture of Moscow. But Leningrad refused to fall. Its citizens and soldiers alike stood their ground against the relentless German onslaught. But the battle was far from easy. The citizens of Leningrad had to endure some of the harshest living conditions imaginable. Freezing winters, lack of food, and constant fear became a part of their daily existence. The city was cut off from the rest of Russia, and the only lifeline was the perilous Road of Life, across the frozen Lake Ladoga. Starvation became a grim reality as rations dwindled. As we approach the end of the war, the Battle of Berlin stands as a symbol of the downfall of the Third Reich. Now let's time travel back to mid-April, 1945. The air is filled with tension and anticipation as the Soviet forces, hardened by the harsh realities of war, prepare for their final assault on the German capital. The Battle of Berlin is about to unfold, a confrontation that would be remembered as one of the deadliest and most decisive of World War II. From April 16th to May 2nd, the city of Berlin turned into a battleground. The Soviet forces, led by Marshals Georgy Zhukov and Ivan Konev, launched a relentless assault on the city, determined to bring an end to the terror of the Third Reich. The German forces, although outnumbered and outgunned, fought with a desperate ferocity, hoping against hope to hold their line. As the battle raged on, the city of Berlin crumbled under the weight of war. Buildings that once stood tall were reduced to rubble. Streets that once buzzed with life were littered with the debris of destruction. The city, once the heart of the Third Reich, was now a ghost of its former self. But the cost of this victory was steep. The Soviet forces suffered heavy losses, with an estimated 300,000 soldiers either killed or wounded. On the German side, the casualties were equally grim, with around 400,000 soldiers and civilians losing their lives. The Battle of Berlin was a brutal testament to the human cost of war, a chilling reminder of the price of victory and defeat. The fall of Berlin signaled the end of the Third Reich. Hitler's dream of a 1,000-year Reich had crumbled in just 12 years, brought down by the combined might of the Allies. The Battle of Berlin was the final nail in the coffin, the endgame of a war that had claimed millions of lives. The Battle of Berlin marked the end of World War II in Europe, but the cost of victory was steep. We've journeyed through some of the deadliest battles of World War II, but what does this tell us about the nature of war and its impact on humanity? As we reflect upon the Battle of Stalingrad, the Battle of Moscow, the Siege of Leningrad, and the Battle of Berlin, the scale of these events is simply staggering. Millions of lives were lost, cities were reduced to rubble, and the world was forever changed. Each battle, a story of resilience and bravery, yet also a testament to the inhumanity of war. Let's not forget the enormous number of casualties. The Battle of Stalingrad alone saw nearly 2 million casualties. In the Battle of Moscow, over 1 million soldiers and civilians lost their lives. The Siege of Leningrad resulted in the death of over 1 million people. And in the Battle of Berlin, the casualty count reached well into the hundreds of thousands. These staggering numbers are more than just statistics. They represent fathers, mothers, children, each with their own stories, dreams, and aspirations. The lasting effects of these battles extend far beyond the physical destruction. The psychological trauma experienced by survivors, the displacement of populations, the shift in political power, these are all reminders of the far-reaching consequences of war. These battles shaped the course of history, influencing international relations, technological advancements, and cultural shifts in the decades that followed. They were catalysts for change, for better or worse, and their impact is still felt today. As we remember these events, let us not merely dwell on the horrors of the past. Instead, let's take them as lessons from history, lessons that teach us about the cost of conflict, the resilience of the human spirit, and the enduring hope for a better, more peaceful world. May we never forget the sacrifices made by those who fought and those who were caught in the crossfire. May their stories serve as a reminder of the devastating effects of war and the importance of striving for peace. World War II was a testament to the destructive power of conflict. Let these battles remind us of the cost of war and compel us to strive for peace. Thank you for watching our video on the deadliest battles of World War II. We've journeyed through history together, from the Battle of Stalingrad to the Battle of Berlin, experiencing the resilience and bravery of those who fought, as well as the devastating cost of war. If this journey has moved you, enlightened you, or simply piqued your interest, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more. We strive to bring these pivotal moments in history to life, to remember the sacrifices made and the lessons learned. If you have any suggestions for future videos or thoughts on the battles we've discussed today, please leave them in the comments below. Your thoughts, ideas, and curiosity drive us to delve deeper and explore further. We appreciate your support and look forward to bringing you more engaging and thought-provoking content. Remember, history is not just about the past. It's about understanding our present and shaping our future. Together, let's continue this journey through history, remembering the past, understanding the present, and striving for a better future.